Welcome, crime crazy people, to Veil of Humanity with your host, Melonie Yelvington and Kimberly Taylor. We are two best friends here to share our passion for a true crime with you on a weekly basis.
Okay, welcome back, crime crazy people, to Veil of Humanity with your host, Melonie Yelvington
and Kimberly Taylor.
I'd like to apologize to y'all for some technical difficulties the last time that we recorded. I think we've got them worked out with the microphone, so I should sound louder and
clearer this time.
So apologize about that. But today we're going to bring you part 2 of the Casey Anthony documentary that was aired on November 29th, 2022, Where the Truth Lies. Keyword is lies.
So grab your favorite beverage and possibly a pillow to scream into as we dive into this roller coaster of a documentary. So today we have trigger warnings again. We'll be talking about murder, child's death, alleged sexual assault, and also we're going to be talking about some pet stuff.
And we're also going to have some cursey words because I am a fan. We are all fans of the cursey words.
Yes, we are. So, Bess, I could not think of a more appropriate title for this documentary, Where the Truth Lies.
They did good on that.
They did.
Yep.
So, this narcissistic, promiscuous, see you next Thursday. If you know, you know.
I know.
Showed more for her own self-probation than for finding her own daughter. How does this even fathom in a mother's mind not to look or do something? I don't understand.
That blows me away.
Still.
Yep.
So, breathe, Miss. Breathe, because here we go. So this documentary, it starts with Casey emerging from seclusion. She's coming out, she's, trying, she's been secluded for the past 10 years. She wants to come out and tell her story. She's still having to look over her shoulder because as if someone's out to get her. I would too if you're that notorious and infamous, but just saying.
I don't know if this is true or not, but when I first watched and heard about this case, shortly after she was found guilty, there was someone that thought that they saw her and they ran her off the road, and it was not her, but it was another woman.
Interesting.
It was very interesting. I don't remember. Sorry, I don't have any reference to that, but I remember a woman saying that she got ran off the road because they thought that she was Casey Anthony.
I can definitely see that because of the dark brown hair and the features
she has
and stuff. She's very common, not to throw my brunettes. I love all my brunettes. Hey, y'all. I'm the blonde of the group, so just saying. Okay, so, with this documentary, we see Casey meeting up with showrunner, and I apologize now for butchering this name. Her name is Alexandra Haggig, and her crew at an undisclosed rental property, just because she did not want to be doxxed. Well played, girl. Well played.
I mean, can you actually get doxxed if you show just a little bit of your house? I don't understand that.
You'd be surprised what people can find. Like, if you show the outside of a house, people are notorious for finding other YouTubers and celebrities' houses just from seeing a little bit of the outside. So
no wonder they all put walls up and trees and
that privacy.
Right. Okay.
So, at this point, she starts to unpack framed photos of Kaylee, many that have been pulled from the tabloids. She states that some of the most priceless things that I have, and they ask her why, and she's like, "They're some of the only things I have left of Kaylee." Excuse me, what?
Whose fault is that?
Yours. Allegedly, she needs instant. I digress. This is where my anger comes out because Top Mom here, she could have had a whole lot different memories. She could have had her actual daughter.
Yeah, because I think I remember her saying, they were like, "What do you think she would be like today?" She's like, "She'd be 13 today, and I think she would be like a total badass." I remember her saying that.
Yeah, she, thinking about what her personality would be. Well, if things would have been different, you would have your daughter here. And we wouldn't know who you are. We wouldn't be sitting here discussing this right now.
Yep.
But you know, I'm trying to stay neutral. So, you know, let me center myself. You know, Casey's seen, you know, she's seen snapping pictures, living life. If she didn't ever have a little girl who loves Winnie the Pooh. She's just out there, you know, click, click, you know, just taking pictures. You know, that's what sticks in my craw. Is the fact that she's out there trying to be, you know, live this life and like, oh, I don't have a daughter. I never did.
Like, she was just never pregnant.
Exactly. Like, it's just a memory that just went away. She does like to photograph in quiet places because she suffers, and get this, she suffers from severe social anxiety. That's been consistent.
Yeah. About that. You're very secluded and hiding, and but yet you're at the bars and you have to call the police because you got into it with someone else and she threw a drink on you.
Speaking of
because
which,
you're dating the same police officer.
yes.
I'm sorry. First of all, what police officer in Florida would date her?
She's too notorious. Why would you be dating her? Why? Because you want to say, hey, I'm dating Casey Envy. This is a flex, people.
Ew.
That ain't no damn flex.
Ew.
Ew. So right now, I want to insert the body cam footage that shows her at that Florida bar. And so we're going to take a listen and take a watch of this, okay?
All right.
All right, so let's take a listen to this.
Oh.
I'm going to get it to the part that I need it. Give me 1 second.
I got a drink thrown at me. This girl has been harassing me for a while. I have her cell phone number.
They're bleeping out her name and everything,
Right.
so.
Yeah. And what happened? She verbally assaulted me, but physically assaulted me with witnesses. I'm still damp from the drink she threw me. And why did she throw a drink at you? We had a verbal altercation outside. Outside over there? Yeah. And elaborate, like what happened? We dated the same person for a couple of years.
Can't say the name of the person.
Whether they're together or not together, she got upset that he had texted me. I let her know that he had, and she came inside and threw a drink at me. And you have your ID with you? Yes, I do. Are you with him? No. He was one of the witnesses. Eli, all of these people were witnesses, unfortunately. Go get him, Tiger. Let's do it.
Yeah, I got it.
I try not to make a big deal of things, but she's been a problem in my life for 3 years. How do you try? I've changed my phone number, my phone. She's here. It's changed. Several years. So this is the last. Have you tried doing a restraining order? No, this is the last one. I have a witness someone throwing a drink at me, but I'm still married. I have several witnesses.
Okay. You know, she's like, I have several witnesses.
That's
Several
a
people
lot
saw
to
this.
unpack, first of all.
Yes.
Because I know for a fact in another recording she said it was a police officer,
Mm-hmm.
but they were both dating. And she's really trying to express that she's been assaulted.
Yes. She wants that out there. She wants people to know, I didn't do this. You know, this bitch threw a drink
But
on
you
me.
did because you texted her and you antagonized her.
Yes. So tell me, how is it not your damn fault?
You just if you don't want no trouble, don't start no trouble.
Amen.
Jesus.
Y'all.
Mm.
So, you know, that was, that's a little dramatic. She's just all prissy and
Just real secluded though, isn't she?
very, very secluded. You remember that beautiful little tattoo that she got during those 31 days?
Yeah, Bella Vita.
Yes, ma'am.
The good life.
The good life. So at this point, she's got her back to us and we can see that she's got a new tattoo.
She covered it up.
She covered that up.
I wonder why.
Well, do you know what it is?
I don't have a clue what she was talking about on there.
So she explained that it's now peonies and a small mandala, which
What is peonies?
you want to know the meaning? They're flowers.
Okay.
So it means rebirth and growth. I'm going to say that again. Rebirth and grow. This is what this new tattoo. She says that she fought hard for a new life.
Oh, yeah, you did. All right. You fought for your life.
You did fight for your life.
I don't like that saying at all.
I don't either. I don't agree, but...
I don't like that saying.
So her defense team has helped her to get on her feet and be on her own. You know, she has no support from her real family. Her defense team is now her family. That's because you threw your own family under the bus.
And then backed up and rolled over and backed up and rolled over.
Again and again.
You're still sitting on them.
I would leave you too.
God.
I would have nothing to do with you. You know, Casey's angry. She's so angry that she still has to defend herself about Kaylee's death. You know, the only person who matters is her daughter. Yes, she should have to defend herself, but why not just tell the truth? Why not tell the truth?
Because she can't.
I will never stop asking this question.
She's
Tell
incapable.
the truth. Why not tell it? Why not just say, hey, this is what really happened?
I wouldn't believe. I'm really even shocked at myself for even watching this Peacock original docuseries, because I swore to myself, if she ever wrote a book, if she ever said anything later after this trial, I wouldn't watch it, I wouldn't buy it, I wouldn't read it, because it would all be lies anyways, and all she did was prove me right.
But that's the thing. She knew what was going to happen because she's been out of the spotlight for so long. She had to do this documentary. She had to get it out there.
Why? You've been gone for 10 years and no
Why
one
not stay
cares
gone?
about you.
Go crawl underneath that rock you've been living under. Bye.
Why did you have to resurface
Now,
and dredge all this up?
I'll tell you one reason. Money, money, money.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how much money she got paid for this.
That's what I'm curious too.
I'm thinking like $100 grand.
Mm-hmm. If not, she got paid something.
Yeah, for sure. She wouldn't be doing it otherwise.
Exactly.
Mm-mm.
So now we're going to see the interview of Sergeant John Allen. He was one of the first ones that was on scene. He called it an odd story when the 911 calls came in.
Wait, he called it a what?
An odd story.
Oh, an odd story.
Odd story, yeah. Because what they believed they had was a missing child case for 31 effing days. That's what they believed. They did not realize what all was going to come into factor with this.
Yeah.
You know, Detective Eric Edwards, Yuri Malik, who was the on-call missing persons, they spent a great deal of time with Casey trying to find where Kaylee was. You know, they drove to many different apartments. You know, they took the route. Like we discussed last time, they went to our Universal Studios, and that was a huge messed up deal.
Right.
You know, but the lies at this point, they're just adding up. They're stacking up, one after another. That's what we're getting here.
She's the type of person that will, once she lies, she will take it all the way to the end, like she did at Universal Studios. And when she came to a dead end,
Oops.
just,
my
I
bad.
really work here.
Yeah.
So she'll take it all the way.
So after she's arrested, they ask Eric Edwards in his interview, why do you think Casey lied? And he goes, I think she killed her daughter and she didn't want to get in trouble. Even the own police detectives are like, she's guilty. She did this. She just didn't want to get in trouble. Well, duh. Who wants to get in trouble? Who wants to get arrested?
I don't even want to get in trouble at work,
No, I don't either.
much less for anything
Yes.
of this nature.
You know, at this point, she's accused of not crying on camera. And she claims in the interview, you know, that she couldn't, that she had to stay composed to be able to speak with the cops consistently. But you know, her mom and her bestie were over there showing more emotion than this chick. Yeah.
Oh, but
Breathe, Miss, breathe. Yeah.
She's so ridiculous.
Very. So now we see her father George in his interview. He's, stated that he lost Casey and Kaylee on June 16th of 2008. You know, Casey said that she told him on her way out, Dad, I'm on my way to work. I'm dropping Kaylee off at Zanny's house, and we're staying the night there. I'll be back tomorrow.
So forgive me, I haven't watched the docuseries as recently as you have, So she actually told her dad, I'm going to work and I'm taking Kaylee to Zanny's. She said that?
Yes.
That's what George said she said.
That is what George said that she said in an interview. Yes.
Okay.
So, you know, after all this, her social calendar just completely took off and exploded. She was out partying. This is when she stole the checkbook from her
I like
friend.
how you fit that social calendar.
You know, it's just, it is. Her social calendar just went boom. You know, but she was.
It's amazing what you can do without a kid, huh?
It really is. I mean, it truly is. Like, oh, I just forgot I had a kid. What? You know, she's seen on camera at different stores and everything without her daughter.
Oh, yeah.
She's seen on camera.
They went to Blockbuster, her and Tony,
Oh,
and rented movies, right?
Yes.
I remember that.
Oh,
She's nowhere in sight.
throw back to Blockbuster. Miss you.
Right?
You know, she's seen. Where is Kaylee at this point? Why is she not with her mother?
She's dead.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
So, you know, if this time they say that when she meets up with Tony Lazaro, that all communications just stop about Kaylee. And, like, just that name went completely, like, whoop, bye-bye. I'm not going to see you again. Tony refused to interview for the documentary, so we don't actually get to see his point of, and hear his point of view on this.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just like she met up with him, and then nothing else about the baby.
Yeah, but he said she was, like, completely normal, like...
Acting normal.
Yeah.
And then one of the roommates of Tony, his name was Clint House, he does the interview for it. And, you know, he is blown away that Kaylee's missing. Because he remembers Casey bringing her around, teaching her, showing her things, being a good mom. Things that moms are supposed to do. You know, everyone was completely shocked because Casey did absolutely nothing to help look for her. Alright, so the producer asked her, why did you lie? Casey's response, let me tell you what her response was. I'm going to quote this directly. I lied to everyone my whole life. Even with years of therapy, I still lied. I'm trying to analyze and explain my own behaviors. All of this is a reaction to trauma. Yeah.
All of what is their reaction to trauma?
All of her behavior.
And her lives?
And her lies. All the lies. That's why she lies. Everything is reaction to trauma.
Okay. Yep. Well, I know probably a lot of people that have been through trauma in their lives.
Yes.
But they don't have to explain it away.
No.
Because they're not doing things like this.
Nor are they surrounded by a murder either. So she then, you know, she's then going to explain and how her memories are on a shelf in boxes in her head, and they're just kind of stored away, and they get pulled out and you know, something comes flying through. And
Isn't that what they call compartmentalize?
yes.
Okay. I've heard that term before.
So, you know, to her saying her memories out loud for the first time, you know, she was scared and afraid. That's why she didn't trust them, you know, and that she didn't trust cops. She had to, you know, when she's confronted.
She surely wanted them for that 911 call in that bar a while ago.
Well, that was years later, though. We're talking about the beginning.
Yeah.
When, you know, when she's confronted about her lies, you know, this triggered her more and more. You know, yes, it did make her look crazy. And that law enforcement just wouldn't trust her what she said. You know, there was no justification for her action or her matters. She stated that she was doing what she was conditioned to do.
And that's what Jose Baez said in his opening statements, too.
And she was doing what she was conditioned to do. That is just what she kept doing. She kept doing this. She was staying on A, B, and C. This is what I have to do. Excuse me. I want to give a little shout out to Lacey for making our beautiful cups that say Bell of Humanity.
Thank you, Lacey.
So good. So, you know, growing up, she lied a lot. She lied a lot. We talked about that.
Which I figured kids do. I did.
Yeah, I mean, we all, it's a kid thing, they lie, you know, but these were like growing lies. We talked last time about, you know, saying, oh, I'm going to graduate, y'all come on down and watch me walk that stage. Please.
Yeah, that's what I thought. How in the world is that ever a good idea to say, come on down and I'm not going to be there?
Yeah, why would you make that up? That's a huge lie. That's hard to get around.
Yeah, it's not a little white lie.
You know, she says that growing up, she had to lie a lot because telling the truth to anyone just didn't happen. She had to appear that she was in this picture-perfect family. So, y'all, trigger warning, we are getting into the discussion of SA. Her father, George, was incapable of telling the truth, and he was hiding his own alleged secrets. Her mother was the true matriarch of the family. She was a nurse, she was working, she was pulling her weight. But George had his own little secrets that stayed just tucked neatly away, nobody talked about. Every family has secrets. Every family has skeletons in the closet. But
Gambling.
Affairs.
See, I didn't believe that.
I go back and forth with it. There are secrets we're not going to know about. I understand that. What happens behind closed doors stays behind closed doors.
But you know what? I probably could have believed it had she not got up on the stand. And forgive me, I don't know her name. I don't care what her name is. I just remember her saying, he says that it was an accident that snowballed out of control. And if you're having an affair with anyone, that's not anything you're going to say to them, I feel like, personally.
No.
I'm not going to go into my deepest thoughts with an affair.
Yeah.
That's why I don't believe he cheated.
I see your point. I see your point.
I think she got up there and lied and said whatever the defense needed her to say. I'm just
saying. Which she probably did.
I'm just saying.
Just saying.
It's my opinion. I'm entitled to it.
So, Biss, I have something now that will make your tongue bleed, so no holding back, okay?
Okay.
So, Casey at this point is quoted on the documentary as saying, "There's no good thing as good sleep." Wait, hold up. I want to back this up a minute. Last time we quoted from her AP interview about how she slept well at night.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
Which is it?
Do you sleep well at night or do you not sleep?
There's no such thing as good sleep.
There's no such thing as good sleep. She states that she's been having nightmares of her father holding her down and R-ing her.
Nope.
So,
I don't believe that.
At age 8, she was physically hurt and couldn't tell mommy what happened. She'd be mad at me. And then all of that stopped just before she turned 12. And she stated that at this time, her brother Lee came into her room but did not R her.
I remember her saying something like,
touched.
he picked up where he left off, but he didn't R me.
Yes.
She's disgusting.
That happened until she turned 15. But get this, she didn't tell her mom any of this until she became a mom herself.
When? Like,
when she was 19, when she was pregnant. That's when she finally outed everything and told, hey,
how do we know that
happened.
That's according to her?
That's according to her.
Yeah, I don't believe her.
So.
I don't believe her. Okay, okay. You're right. This is very...
Yes, this is... Deep breath, everybody. I need you just to breathe through this. Like I said, grab your pillow. If you need to throw something, throw it. This is a very heavy case. And we're getting into some heavy stuff today. So, breathe, Biss. Breathe.
God. Okay.
So, now we're going to talk about the reason for the Bella Vita tattoo. So, Casey said that this was a big F-you to her family.
Well, I have to agree.
I love my family, but y'all know.
We may not want to go there.
We're not going there. Lips are closed. Yeah.
Okay.
But let me... This, you're not going to like this one. So she's got a newer tattoo now. It was right here on her arm. Have you seen this one?
Like I said, You've watched the docuseries more recently than I have, so I don't remember what it says.
So, her new tattoo, it reads, "I hear your voice in all the sounds of the world." That's her tribute to Kaylee. It means I hear you in everything.
Good.
I hope she does.
Me too. I hope it haunts her when she hears it.
I hope she's very haunted. I hope that she, every minute of the day, that is what she's hearing, is her daughter's voice. It'd be like little Carmen.
Something tells me because of her narcissist, crazy psychopath mind, she's not
She's very
reading that
self-centered.
way.
Yeah.
It's not really what that means to her. Like, I hear you. Like,
I don't think that's a really true meaning of it. I think it's just like a bunch of BS for this. I think she just liked the quote and stuck it on her arm, like we did.
and that's her tribute.
That's her
She
tribute.
made that her
makes that up and says, "This is my tribute. This is what I say about my daughter." That's my opinion, y'all. Just throwing that out there. So, we're gonna talk about the secret pregnancy. We all know how she got pregnant. We all know the birds and the bees. But Casey's claiming that she was ARD and she doesn't know who the father is.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's news to me.
Yeah, she has no clue. She said that she was at a house party at the age of 18 and was drinking, having some fun, you know, just out vibing to the music, and was drugged. And then when she woke up, her jeans and panties were on the floor, her shirt and bra were above her boobs, and then she felt like that she had forced sex at this point. So she had questions, but she didn't report it. She did not want to bring attention to herself. She does not like attention on her.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I'm just saying what she said. She
As
does
I
not-
do a Peacock series.
Yes. Let me mic up here, get ready for my interview, and primp and...
Sorry, my hair's not down, but
I get the gesture. You know, she knew 6 weeks later that she was pregnant. You know, that's about the time you find out. My thing is this was an unwanted pregnancy. Could this be a motive?
like she did want it. Her mom made her keep.
Her mom made her keep the baby, yeah. But because of what she's saying this child is a product of, could that have been a motive for everything?
I don't
Just
believe.
asking. Just asking.
I don't believe so. But you know,
So
anything's possible.
anything is possible. You know, at this point we're at the end of episode 1, and she claims it all came back to her father.
They have somebody to blame.
Always.
It's not her fault.
And she's like, I didn't do it, but I'm gonna blame this person over here. So we're gonna move on. We're on episode 2. And this starts with a serene beach with Casey Anthony sitting, and she's looking at her camera, looking through her pictures, and she starts talking. She's like, I was angry yesterday. I was angry. The producers were like, did you think about Kaylee? And she goes, I think about her every day. She talks about how Mother's Day is hard, and as she gets into this discussion, she just starts to cry.
Cue the tears.
Cue the waterworks. Here they come.
Okay.
So we're watching the documentary. You know, it's a jailhouse interview between Casey Anthony and her parents. Cindy tells her the whole nation is looking for Kaylee, and she goes, will they find her alive? And she goes,
I hope so.
I hope we can, Mom. I hope we can.
Knowing full goddamn where she is.
But this,
What?
we're back to present day. We're watching Casey. She's talking. She goes, I believe she was still okay. I believed she was still okay.
So that's her reasoning for not calling and reporting her missing, because she believes she was okay
She believes she's okay.
after she had her cold, wet body In her arms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna think my child's okay after that too, sure.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
So we're tearful now. We're getting deep. She goes, I know you want to ask me about the last day she was here. The last day I saw her.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just point out throughout this whole documentary, she never says Kaylee's name. Say that baby's name. Say her name.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's she, her, my daughter.
Yeah.
Say her name, please.
That's distancing though, right?
It is. It's putting a distance. Like we watched the behavioral panel on YouTube. They say it's kind of showing guilt. I love them. Check them out.
They're
Shout out.
amazing.
They are.
Oh, Tan Daddy.
Yes.
Chase Hughes is called Tan Daddy.
Love him. Love him. So, we're crying. We're looking down. It's a horrible mess. She's being over dramatic. Which, will we get the truth from her? Will we get the truth from Notorious Liar?
No.
What she does remember isn't much, except that the night before was a pretty normal routine for them. They did what they do every night with getting ready for bed and just relaxing. The next morning, the last day that she was seen,
Mm-hmm.
she said she got up, she fed Kaylee, but Casey wasn't feeling well that day, so she wanted to lay back down and put her baby back down with her. That she closed the door. She does not remember if the door was locked. She says possibly it was unlocked. Possibly the door was unlocked. She claims to be a light sleeper because she's used to someone, always opening her door while she's asleep. And I guess this is where the I don't sleep well comes in. No, it doesn't. But she's claiming that George was home. Yeah. And she was sleeping very well. Next thing that she knows, she was awoken by him going, "Where is Kaylee?" And she stated, "She would never leave my side without telling me."
Yeah, because like a 2-year-old can tell you.
I mean, when they want to get up, they're going to get up and wander around.
Yeah, they're not going to be like, Mommy, I'm getting up.
Yeah, Mommy, I'm going to the bathroom. Yeah.
She doesn't know what it's like to have a kid.
No.
Obviously.
She got rid of her. Yes.
I'm sorry. Back on track.
Back on track. So they begin searching around the house for her. At this point, she's nowhere to be found.
And you know what? I'm sorry, I don't mean to. I remember during the trial, I remember Jose Baez very distinctly saying, "Look what you've done. Your mother will never forgive you for this."
Yeah,
I don't think she said that happened again, right?
we'll get there.
Oh,
We're put your waders on because we're getting deep, people. So at this, she doesn't think to look in the backyard pool. She said the ladder wasn't up, so I didn't think to look in there. She wouldn't be in there. She wouldn't go in there. Okay. She came back around the left side of the house, and George is standing there. He's holding her. She's soaking wet at this point. She goes, I can see him standing there with her in his arms. And this is where he hands her to Casey and goes, this is your fault. You did that. You did that. The producers are going, what does she feel like? At this point, you're holding her, you're collapsing. What does she feel like? The only thing that she could do to describe her daughter was she was heavy and cold. Heavy and cold. Casey, at this point, she's hysterical. She's not knowing what to do with her daughter at this point. Start CPR. Call 911. Do something.
Yeah.
Instinct should kick in at this point.
Yeah. Survival, help her.
Yes. Don't just... I understand you're in shock, and that's just shock sets in.
There's a lot of swimming pools over there in Florida.
Yes.
So, if it was an accidental drowning, why wouldn't you call and ask for help?
That's what everyone keeps asking. That's what I've always thought. Why wouldn't you call 911?
And
Why wouldn't
George,
you do
being a
something?
police officer,
He would know what to do.
He probably knows CPR.
He has to know CPR.
Yes.
Okay, everyone, deep breath in and out. Come on, let's do it. So at this point, George, he took Kaylee from her and he goes, it'll be okay. She'll be okay. Casey's like, I wanted to believe him. I did believe him. I wanted her to be okay.
No.
Your daughter's heavy and cold. You don't do any life-saving measures. No one calls 911, but you believe she's still going to be okay.
There is no
I'm
sense
getting
in
angry
that.
at this point. And
There's no sense in that at all.
She starts stating from here, she doesn't know what happened with the body. You know, she just wants her back. That's all she's ever wanted. She just wants her back. Again, say her name. Say her name. She felt hopeful she was still okay. I'm gonna say that again. She felt hopeful that she was okay. Why not do things different? She knows she failed her daughter, but she was brainwashed to protect her abuser. This is what she's claiming.
Oh no.
That she was brainwashed. Alright, so once Casey was incarcerated, all the memories and details, everything became more forthcoming for her. Details of her bedding, her childhood room, everything was just forefront and center. She had more time to lay there and think about it.
Oh yeah.
She's in jail. She's on a cot. She wouldn't do anything.
Yep.
You know, the feel of she remembers the feel of her father coming in and sliding in, and every small detail. She pretended, you know, she pretended to be asleep when this happened. She says that she was Daddy's special girl. That he would smother her if she were to refuse and ask for this not to happen. This is her. You know, he forced her to grow up at an early age.
That's what she called it?
That's what she called it.
Forced me to grow up.
Forced me to grow up.
You're still not grown up.
No, he's not acting like a child.
Oh my gosh.
Defense team Janine Barnett stated that the media at this point was showcasing Casey as a party girl, going to nightclubs, dirty dancing.
Because that's what she was.
That's what she was. And all the lies.
Or is. My bad. I don't want to use past tense because she's still doing it, I'm sure.
You know, part of her role was to bring understanding to who Casey Anthony was. And so Casey was able to slowly let her guard down around her defense team and slowly let things come out about the abuse and, you know, how she could just show up and show out for 31 days. The day that she lost the baby, the day her father took Kaylee, just little things like that. So she went to, at this point, she's going to Tony Lazaro's house. She's being normal as possible. Everyone said that she was happy, you know, just being her go-lucky self, you know, just hanging out. This is where she says, I wasn't partying, I was working. There were no drinks in my hand. Working.
Just because you don't have a drink in your hand doesn't mean that you're not partying. Duh.
You can have fun and not drink. How about you can, but whatever. You know, she goes, I truly believe Kaylee was still alive. George kept telling her every day Kaylee was still alive, she's okay.
Just keep doing what you're doing. I remember that.
Yep, do what you need to do. She said that she had to do what he wanted to survive. She was in contact with him daily, like I said, but she wanted answers. She said she did want answers. She wanted to know what was going on. He just kept saying, she's fine. You will be reunited soon. Nothing else was given. No other details, nothing. She was afraid of her father at this point. Like she had all her life, but she was even more afraid because she believed that he'd kidnapped her daughter and put her through hell. The same kind of hell she went through.
The SA stuff?
Yes. You know, in one of the jailhouse interviews, Casey said that my gut says she's not far and she's okay. That is what she is saying.
So annoying.
You know, she does regret not coming forth to her mom about everything. She does regret that, she said. You know, about not telling her in time, telling her about what was going on in her life, not telling her what happened to her daughter. You know, she does have regrets about that.
Can you, okay.
What is it, this? What is it?
Cindy is still with George.
To this day.
So you're telling me that she told her mom what her dad and her brother had allegedly been doing to her, and she's still with him?
Yes.
Because it didn't happen. And Cindy knows it didn't happen. Or because I believe she would have
left.
parted ways and he would be locked up.
Especially about the affair and his secrets that he was hiding. Why would she stay? Why stay? Everyone's got their own reasoning. I like I said, I don't know what's going on behind closed doors, but everyone has their reasoning.
There is no good reason
There is no good
for that.
There is. There is.
I
not. There is
understand
not.
there's people out there that can work past major issues in their relationships and in their marriages,
Yes.
but that is not one. And if it is one, you're a part of that mess.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't believe that for 2 seconds.
So we're at December. We're at December of 2008. We all know what happened that month. We all know, you know, the body was found.
Mm-hmm.
She said that at this point she thought that Kaylee was still okay. But the day that she was found, 15 houses from the Anthony house, she was in the waiting room and was handcuffed. She was in jail and was watching TV. And breaking news hit.
I bet you they put it up on purpose. I
I
bet you
wouldn't
they
be
put it up
surprised.
on purpose. Just to see a reaction from her.
And she
Like,
knew,
for real.
at this point, she knew she was being recorded because it is all filmed. You know, she lost it. She completely loses it. You see her on camera. She puts her hands down. She's bending over. She lost it at this point. She's crying. You know, she's no longer believing her father. She's no longer hiding his lies. All hope is gone. So we move on with the medical examiner, Dr. G. You know, she comes on. She confirms that the remains are in fact Kaylee Anthony. Yes.
She's amazing.
And at this point, Casey's charged with murder. She says, yes, I was naive. Yes, I was dumb. Clearly, no matter how smart I was dumb. The whole time leading up to this, I thought there was still a chance that she could still be alive. I was telling the truth. I'm gonna repeat that. She says, I was telling the truth. There was a chance. You're supposed to have an instinct that something is wrong. I should have known.
You did know.
You knew.
Stop.
You knew what was going on. You know, we jump back and forth. We see forensics. They're on the scene. They're taking evidence. They're trying to relate everything back to the house. So they're able to determine that laundry bag was part of a set from the house. They're able to determine the trash bag comes
came
from
into the sets of the laundry
came in
bags
too. They're able to determine that duct tape and the trash bag all trace back to the Anthony house. Everything goes back. You know, memorial pops up at the side of where the remains were found. It's still there to this day.
Wow.
Yeah. So, you know, there's no question who did this at this point. The death penalty is sought, and again, Casey's like, I'm innocent. I didn't do anything. I'm not guilty.
Like I said earlier, she'll take it all the way to the end.
Keep on spiraling. It just keeps on rolling.
Yep.
You know, the producers, they're asking her, did you ever tell your defense team the whole truth? Did you ever go in depth? And she's like, I've never gone in depth with them to this day. So not even her defense team knows the full truth.
Only she does.
The only person who does is
Melonie and
It's
Kaylee, but
that person cannot talk. Yeah. I'm innocent. I'm innocent.
nope.
So now we see Mr. Patrick McKenna. He's starting his interview. He's the PI. He's present. He's part of the team. She works with him. She's living with him.
Did she say she worked for him for a while?
She did.
But I don't think that's true.
Yeah. So he's up. He's meeting that family. He's observing them setting up interviews. Hey, we're going on today's show. We're going on this show. We're doing this. They're raising, trying to raise money. You know, and he's just like, wow, that's not how I would do things. He says they're out there getting all these interviews going, and yet when he walks into Casey's room, it's a monument to Kaylee. I don't know how true that is, but this is what he's saying. He's talking of a story of a very lovely mother, but that with the grandparents, you know, they were showing off a boat that they just got called the SS Kaylee Marie. They wanted to take it out and go look for other missing children. And he says, that's not what I would do. He thinks that Casey is innocent.
Well, I mean, he's not trying to include Casey in that.
No.
He's
talking about George and Cindy and Lee and how they're all setting up these interviews and buying this brand new boat and raising these funds, and they're the ones that are wrapped up, not Casey. Mm-hmm.
When they're actually buying a boat and want to do some good, they're
But that's not what he would do.
So
Everyone's different.
They're grieving in their own way, I feel like, by doing that.
Yes. So
I don't like him.
back in court, the plea bargain's being discussed, and it's 20 years and a guilty. At this point, Casey refused. I'd rather have been found guilty and spend the rest of my life on death row than admit guilt. What you trying to say there, honey? What you trying to say? Go ahead and spill it. I'm all ears. I'm listening.
You should be locked up.
You should be in jail. You should be in
for
prison.
the rest of your life.
You know, at this point, she remembers having so much anxiety walking up to the courtroom doors. Which, if you've ever been in court, even if you're not going on trial, if you're going for any other case, like divorce in the past, walking into a courtroom it's unnerving. It really is.
It can be intimidating.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, you know,
Kind of feel out of place.
You do. If you don't belong there, if you've never been, it's intimidating, especially standing up there in front of that judge.
Yeah.
You know, at this point, she's already guilty in the eyes of everybody. You know, we all know Top Mom in the media.
Yeah.
We all know Top Mom.
Nancy Grace.
Nancy Grace. Yes.
She dubbed her Tot Mom.
Yep.
Yep. And when she said it, everybody knew who she was talking
They
about.
just took it and ran. Like,
Yep.
all right, that's the nickname we're going with. So, just for everybody out there, Top Mom, Toddler Mom, that's what it means. But
The mom of a toddler.
the mom of a toddler.
Yep.
You know, Nancy Grace, she, you know, put that nickname out there in the media and everybody
It
just
sure
ran
has
with
stuck.
It sure has stuck, man. So I want to point out something the prosecution said. They said there's nothing wrong with young people drinking, dancing, having fun, but not the life that Casey was leading, because she's a mom. Mom shouldn't have fun. That's pretty much what they're saying.
What? I don't agree with that, but I understand why they're saying it.
I understand why they're saying it. I don't agree. I think moms can still have fun, but you just don't flat out going, I don't know where my daughter is, she's missing. 31 days, I'm just gonna go out and party and have fun.
Act like nothing's
Acting
wrong.
like nothing's wrong. Yeah, I don't agree with that.
In the meantime, your mom is, Cindy is begging you to see
Her
our
granddaughter.
granddaughter, and she just keeps saying no.
No,
She did the-
excuses and lies, and my thing is how did all this not put any doubt into the jurors' mind? You got a young mom out partying, baby's missing for 31 days, she's caught on camera shopping, buying things. Where is this child? Why is this child not, that's just what I'm very curious about when it's still stuck in my head over and over again. It's like,
It's very hard to wrap your mind around that.
yeah.
It's very hard to think about a woman who's bared a child and she's been missing for 31 days. And
Like we were saying, everyone grieves in their own way. I'm not saying this is her, they're not supposed to act that way, but
He wasn't grieving anyway.
yes. So the defense, they had a specialist come on. They said that her behavior was typical of young adults. The lying wasn't for manipulation or self-gain. That
Yes, it was.
that she's just been through significant trauma.
Self-gain is you're lying to keep yourself out of trouble.
Yeah.
That don't make no sense.
It makes no sense, but the defense, they're just trying to paint this picture. So, okay, this is normal. She's just out there. She's got so much trauma, so this is her reaction to it.
No.
No. So, the defense, they threw the abuse in there. They did not tell Casey that they were going to bring that up. They wanted her surprise reaction that this was being introduced to the case to be real. So she was not prepared for that. Everything you see on TV when she's, shocked and her face is like, what did they just say? What are they doing? That was a genuine reaction.
According to who?
According to Casey.
Why?
So they're mentioning that this was an accident by drowning. That's what the defense is calling it. We see a police detective. He comes back on. He's saying
which is their reasonable doubt.
Yes, that's where the reasonable doubt comes in.
Mm-hmm.
But the police, they gave Casey that idea when they were going, what happened? Could this have happened? This happened? All these different scenarios. The police implanted that idea. And there was just, Casey herself said that there are too many scenarios to what happened, but drowning isn't one of them. That ladder was not in the pool that day. Why let them make that accusation then? Why let them put that out there?
And she's making it seem like she wasn't a part of her defense, that she just let them make up whatever they wanted to say.
Yeah, she just let them run everything.
But yet they warned George.
They did, yeah.
Hey, guess what? You
what
better get ready because we're about to say this. Like, she didn't know that. Like, she didn't know any of that was about to be said.
I say lies. I say she knew what was going to be said.
Yeah, because if her mouth is moving, she's lying. I mean, how many times do I have to say that?
Even, she says, she was not sure why she was wet. She said, I'm not right out accusing him, but I am accusing him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, just saying. Next, we get her brother, Lee. He testifies, and this is where he says that the way that Kaylee was found, that's how George used to bury the family pets. My thing is, if Lee knew that, Casey's going to know that. You know how things are done.
Yeah, because she's probably watched her dad bury
Burying
their
countless
pets.
pets.
Yeah.
So now we're going to move on.'re moving on to episode 3. And this starts with the prosecution arresting on July 3rd in 2011. There will be a verdict that day. She's on her edge of the seat because that's her life hanging in the balance.
For sure.
Who wouldn't be on edge?
Right.
She says that she was put through hell those 3 years. Put through hell. Because of the media, everyone judging her, everything's just her.
It's all about
trauma
her.
coming out. All
It's
about
all
me,
about
me. Look at me.
The
Hi.
self-centeredness
Yes.
coming out again.
Narcissistic person.
Yes.
And at this point, we get the not guilty. The verdict's read. Her life is saved. Her life is saved.
Jose Baez did his job. I'll
He
give him
did
that.
his damn job.
He did the damn thing.
Of course, we're all outraged at this point.
Absolutely.
Everyone's upset. They start getting death threats. Death threats start coming in. So the defense team takes her, and they all go to the panhandle of Florida and rent a house to hide. Pat McKenna, he's a former security officer and a former Marine, so he said that his instincts went into action. He took Casey in when everyone else just abandoned her. Well, of course, everyone abandoned. Again, you rolled them under that bus.
Yeah. A couple of times.
So she moved in with him and lived there for a long time.
That's not creepy.
That's not creepy at all. That's weird.
But he probably knew she's still not gonna have a life, even though we got her off of this.
There's gonna be no life there.
No.
She's notorious. She cannot go out in public.
Well, obviously she does.
Obviously.
And people act like she's not even there in the bars, in those. There's just patrons just all around her,
Walking
acting
around,
like
chatting like it's no big deal.
And she's like, "Hey, hi."
Barfly much?
Yeah, she is a barfly. I said that last time, I think.
Yep. So she said that Pat McKenna, he's the closest thing to a real dad she's ever had. That he taught her to be a human. I'm sorry, what? You should have already been taught to be a human.
And you have a dad.
Yes.
And you told him when you were in jail
that he was the
that
best
you
dad.
were the best dad, and don't ever think for 1 second that you weren't.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Again.
Lies. You know, through all this time, she's engaged in deep therapy to overcome everything she's lost in her life. At this point, I was screaming at the TV, and my husband was like, "Shh, you gotta calm down." I'm like, she's saying she's lost everything. It's her own fault. This is your fault. You lost everything.
She did it.
You're guilty. You should be in prison. But you're not. You're sitting here doing another damn interview.
I wonder how she got Jose Baez. Wasn't it? I think she said someone in jail gave her his name.
I believe so.
I think that's what I remember. She got lucky getting him.
She got very lucky. Favors for her lawyer.
Favors.
So, her former friends still believe that she had a hand in this murder disappearance. Some even said that she overdosed that poor baby on Xanax. Hence that name, Zanny the Nanny.
It is babysitter.
Mm-hmm.
It's her babysitter.
Her babysitter, yeah.
But where was she getting Xanax from? It's not like she was like, I don't know, going to the doctor to get it, or
Maybe she had connections.
probably.
You know, personally, I can't imagine losing a child and a granddaughter at the same time. It's just, losing someone's hard, period. You know, but at this point we see that her father, he went on TV and he blamed Casey for the death. He'd even accused her of overdosing her. You know,
I think I remember that. I remember him and Cindy sitting next to each other, and they asked him, "What do you think happened?" He said, "I think she gave her too much of something to make her go to sleep, and
she just, too much. She just went to sleep." Again, this is everyone's opinion on that, so.
what do they call speculation?
Speculation. We'll never know the full truth.
No.
Casey, she's sitting there watching these interviews, like she had never seen him before, but she's like, you know, I didn't think he had the power to still hurt me, which I completely understand, because there's people that's still in my life that can still hurt me to this day, and I'm 40 years old. But when you still give someone that power, you have to learn to set boundaries. But that's getting into my therapy talk, and we'll get there later. You know, it'll never matter how good that she tries to be, how she changes. Nothing's gonna change public opinion. I don't care if she tries to be Mother Teresa. No, nothing is gonna change what we all think about her.
Yeah.
You know,
which is why she's so angry. She's like, I was found not guilty in a court of law, but everyone still hates me. I don't understand.
Gee, bitch, I wonder why. Tell the damn truth for once, please.
Yeah.
You know, she tearfully, she goes, "Why did George take Kaylee out of my arms? Why didn't he call 911? Why didn't you?"
Yeah.
"Why didn't you call 911?
Your daughter.
Your daughter."
She's unbelievable.
She said she's doing her best now to live a normal life. She still asks herself, why wasn't the blame put on George? Why?
Because he didn't do it.
He didn't do it.
Which is why he's never been charged with anything to this day.
Exactly.
Anything
at all. You know, Casey became, at this point, she knows she was already, but she became more the most hated woman in America.
Understandable.
She still is. You do not bring up her name without someone getting angry or being, you know. She
kind of like Lori Bella.
Exactly. Yes. So, you know, she stayed in Florida. Rather, she stayed in Orlando. I don't understand that. But she did state that Pat McKenna has a Google alert out for her for every time someone does anything on her. So, hi Pat. Hi Casey. Shout out. Hello. So, George, he denies being present in the home when Kaylee died. Yet, his memory from that day is still a little too detailed. He can recall everything that she was wearing. You know, everyone's like, why was he trying to put his daughter on death row if he was partially involved? He wasn't partially involved. He wasn't involved. I don't believe it.
And he's trained to look at things like that.
Yes.
Like, you could see somebody, police officer can see somebody for 2 seconds and go, they were wearing a black shirt, jeans, and tennis shoes. Just like that.
Immediately.
That's what they're trained to do.
Yes. So, phone records show that she didn't leave the house until later that day in June, but someone was searching foolproof ways of suffocation and looking those up on unaliving websites. But everyone denies I didn't do it. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. Somebody's lying because it's your home computer.
Yeah, wasn't it her login?
Yes, it was her login, but she's like, well, it was our home computer, so everyone had
Everyone
each
used it.
Yeah. I'm sorry, we have a home
But George
computer.
wasn't home. Cindy was at work.
You were the only one home. And yet I know the claim is, oh, George was home with me. No. Tell the truth, please.
She's not capable.
Alright, Bess. So now we're going to discuss that car and the smell, that odor. During the 31 days, she ran out of gas, and she said there was no smell. She claims it was rotten garbage and a pizza box. That she was just walking it out, got a phone call, and forgot and just threw it in the trunk. When she ran out of gas, her dad was going to come pick up that car. But forgot about it, and we know it got towed, and we got the letter, and that's when everything
Because you
started.
just forget about your car on an everyday basis, and then you need to go pick it up.
Yeah. I mean, you just ran out of gas and just leave it on the side of the road? Who does that?
Again, blame.
Blame. I'm going to put the blame over here.
Exactly.
But she claims that when the car came back, she smelt a smell in it that she'd never smelled before. Something that she'll never forget. But how did it get there? She's claiming, she put it out there, that body was placed after the car was picked up, and then the body was dumped in the swampy area.
Mm-hmm.
That is what it was claimed. That the body was placed in the car afterwards. And she didn't do it. Because when she left the car, it just smelled like hot garbage and pizza. But she does remember the distinct odor of decomp when that car got back home and she got back home after being dragged out of Tony's house.
Because the car was back at the house and wasn't, he was trying to air it out or something.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out what that smell.
Yeah, he knew what that smell was.
He knew what that smell was. I still have so many questions. If when George got the car back, why didn't he immediately call Casey? Why didn't he call 911?
She probably wasn't answering them.
Yeah.
Obviously, if the mother had to go over to the boyfriend's house to get her.
Mm-hmm. So back in 2019, George, him and Cindy, they're going on the Dr. Oz show. He was in a horrific car accident that nearly killed him. And Dr. Oz goes, has Casey reached out to you? He's like, yeah, she did. And at this point, Casey's like, no, I didn't. She laughs at this interview. She is seen on camera laughing. Yeah.
I don't recall her laughing about it, but
she flat out was laughing. George is saying on the interview that he forgives her, but needs her to forgive him. She goes, I'm sorry, what? What does he need to be forgiven for? So Casey, she stated, I can still report him because there's no statutory on time in Florida. Report him. Please do it. We're still in the Me Too movement.
no, she doesn't need to dredge up stuff. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. If there's a history of abuse and you can still report it, report him. If you're claiming that he did all this and that he is guilty,
Yeah.
report him. Make him pay for it. But I digress. And
I
everyone's
mean, even
different.
Cindy, if she thinks, it don't have to be the victim that goes to tell.
Yes.
It don't have to be the victim that tells.
So if her mom knows the truth, why didn't she do it? Why didn't she go for it?
Because you don't believe it.
No.
Because it's not true.
So we're moving on to Kaylee's memorial, the service. It's a very hard subject for Casey, and this is where George does something a little odd. He said that he loved the sweet smell of Kaylee's sweat. To me, that's just gross. I understand memories pop up and you remember certain things a certain way, but he actually said that at her memorial. I just feel like that was not appropriate and that he should have said something different.
Yeah, it is a little off.
And Casey said, what a great way to memorialize your granddaughter, and yet you just admitted to abusing her. I'm just at a loss of words at this point.
You just admitted to abusing her?
No, that George admitted to abusing her to everybody at the memorial, and he said that. Yeah.
Because he won't smell her sweet sweat.
Yeah.
So that's
admitting abuse.
Okay, I mean, it's odd, but it doesn't say abuse.
It doesn't.
It's just so.
You know, she didn't get to attend the memorial because she was sitting in jail.
Good.
Yeah,
She didn't deserve to get to go.
She didn't. It's still sad that you don't get to attend your child's memorial, but she didn't deserve it. She didn't deserve
She's
to
the one
go.
that put her there.
She did. So at this point, Casey goes, so you're gonna ask that question? Not today. Why not tell the truth? If she didn't do it, she's not ready to answer. All these years and you're still not ready? Tell us the truth.
Why are you doing this docu-series? Why are you even talking? She's just talking to just spew more lies.
Yeah,
That's it.
she's just doing this. That mouth opens.
Oh,
that runs.
don't let me forget the monetary aspect.
Yeah, that's the other aspect to it. So
I'm gonna cancel Peacock.
she sat down and watched on the documentary the memorial service. She hadn't seen it before, and she said it was too elaborate. But she had begged for a very private funeral for her, which it was very memorial, very public. It was very out there. But you know, and in my opinion, Kaylee was everyone's child at this point. So why not hold it?
I mean, there had to have been people looking for her for what, 6 months at this point? There was a lot of people invested in this.
There were boots on the ground looking for this baby.
Yes.
So I completely get it. She's watching the memorial. She's outraged by George's speech and reaction, and you know, she says that she did everything to protect her daughter. Everything to protect her daughter.
But yet, she's dead.
Yes. You didn't do everything to protect her. She says, I should have left when I found out I was pregnant, but she was guilted to stay by her mom. Maybe you should have left. Maybe that would have resolved everything. Who knows? Maybe that child would still be dead today. We can't predict it.
Or alive.
Or alive. You know, to this day, she felt that her dad did kidnap Kaylee and that she was not drowned. She said that.
How do you kidnap your own grandchild that lives in the house where you are?
That
That makes no sense.
It makes no sense. I can't figure that one out.
She makes no sense.
You know, she's still, in her mind, he took her away to abuse her. And then for 31 days. And then unalived her. Tell the truth. Please somebody tell the truth.
Incapable.
You know, so she's talking to Pat about what happened. She said there was an accident, but it was not in the pool. Since he would suffocate Casey, if she said no, did he do that to Kaylee? What do you think? Listeners, what's your opinion?
Why is she just now saying this?
Because she's got to have a reaction to everything. Everything's got to come out now. Well, not everything, obviously.
Well, yeah, you just refused to not answer some questions.
Mm-hmm.
So,
knowing that Casey knows the truth, she said that she didn't get the ending she wanted. She didn't get the ending she wanted. She wanted her daughter back. She wanted her daughter back.
mm-hmm.
You know, we're at the end of episode 3 and she's driving past her childhood home and she hates it. You know, it's a feeling of being trapped. I completely understand that. I still have memories that take me back to my childhood home and they're not good.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get it.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, well, memories are good and bad. And she claims that she keeps asking for Kaylee's ashes, but her mom won't give them to her. No, you don't deserve them.
You're not entitled to them. I'm sorry.
No. They did all of the work. They were emotional. Why not let them keep them? I understand that's your daughter, but still, come on. She said that nothing else is worth holding on to, and that she's done with this place. I mean, peace out, people.
Deuces.
Yep. You know this, we'll probably never know the truth on what happened to Miss Kaylee. We will never know.
No, we won't, unfortunately.
So, everyone, I need you to take a deep breath right now. This has been so very heavy, sad, frustrating. If you got that pillow, scream into it. Throw something if you need to. We get it. If I could really scream right now, you would hear me scream. I would throw a huge fit right now.
There's a lot more I want to do than just scream.
No, I'd love to punch something. So, well, my crime, crazy people, we have came to the conclusion of Casey and Kaylee Anthony. Thank y'all for listening, and join us next week to see what case we have swirling around in our heads. To end y'all with a quote, unless today is well lived, tomorrow is not important. Alan Sakowitz.
And this episode is hosted by
Kimberly Taylor
and Melonie Yelvington, produced, edited, and music by Courtney Santos.
Yay! If y'all want to recommend a case to us, please send us an email at veilofhumanity@gmail.com.
Bye!
All right, my crazy crime people. We will be back next week with a brand new episode. To see all of our source material, please consult the show notes. And don't forget to click that subscribe, follow button, and follow us on our social media at Veil of Humanity Podcast, Instagram, and Facebook.